Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Um, and welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you so much for deciding to check out my content and rock with me on this journey. I will try to share as much as I can um, as I build what I want to build. But I also want to share information with you, share my thoughts about things like The Bachelorette or Twin Flame Love or just other things that I think could be interesting and or helpful. So I wanted to talk about The Bachelorette, Gabby and Rachel. So for a lot of people looking at this season of The Bachelor with Clayton, a lot of people were left probably shaking their heads because of how things played out. And I think that Clayton and Susie are still getting some backlash um, from how things ended on that show. And it was really, to me, unfortunate. I really like Gabby and Rachel on this journey together for The Bachelorette. I think Gabby would be, the strong one that would be sticking up for the two of them, defending Rachel. Um, and I think Rachel would be the one who wears her heart on her sleeve. I think a lot of people like this story of both of these women, and I'm sure there's a backstory behind these experiences that they had on The Bachelor with Clayton and what led them to be who they are. It kind of reminds me, I was thinking about this, it kind of reminds me of the movie The Hitch. Maybe it's just called Hitch, if you guys have heard of it, with Will Smith. Um, and so on this movie, The Hitch, or Hitch, sorry, um, he has a love interest, Eva Mendes. And Eva's got a friend, and Eva's kind of like who Gabby would be on The Bachelorette, I would say, really strong. She would stick up for a friend, and her friend is kind of vulnerable and might fall in love, fall for guys easily, and they might try to take advantage of her. I think it's a powerful thing because sometimes on the movie Hitch, Eva was standing up for her friend, and in one instance, she was standing up against this guy. The character in the movie was Vance Munson, and Vance was just what Will Smith would call a hit it and quit it type of guy. And so Eva Eva's standing up for her friend against Vance Munson, and she thought that Will Smith set her friend up with Vance, and Vance ended up, taking advantage of her friend. He was lying to her, and things like that. And I think her friend said they met when he was buying lingerie. He said it was buying something for his mom, but the joke was, of course, he was buying something for another woman, and he picked her up. So um, it's important to look at how these two can balance each other out, because I think um, Gabby can show Rachel an example of what it's like to be stronger, to stand up for herself more, to not fall as easily. And I think Rachel can show Gabby an example of the softer side of, you know, doing more to wear her heart on her sleeve and being vulnerable. And I think, unfortunately, with the this season of The Bachelor with Clayton, Gabby took a chance, and Clayton kind of showed her why you should go with your gut. And I think this is another thing that it I think this can go quite deep, because for a lot of women and a lot of men, but for a lot of women, we are encouraged not to trust our intuition. And I think in this case, it was Clayton, on The Bachelor, encouraging Gabby to give me another chance. And, I really do care about you. This is all very confusing and all these things. And then in the end, um, she found out why, her gut was right. But the thing is, I think also, um, which was awesome, um, that both Gabby and Rachel got rewarded by getting another chance at love. Um, because both of them are going to be on The Bachelorette together. Um, I think this is going to be awesome. I think the two of them will balance each other out on the show. I think it will be exciting. Um, I think the part where the two of them might be dating two different, or dating the same men, is kind of iffy, but hopefully they can work that out and be respectful of each other, support each other through the process. And I think something else that was rewarded that I think was a good thing as well was the two of them being supportive of each other, and being more, partner oriented, I would say. Even though they're in a competition with each other, I think you could see the love that they had for each other. Um, and that showed in the support that they had, that they displayed for one another. So I think it was really good. I think it might be the beginning of a trend, who knows? But I think it's sort of like the Joe Millionaire thing. But I really do like the two of them, like I said, for The Bachelorette. Let me know in the comments, or if you want to send messages, let me know what you think about the two of them um, together, what you think about the movie Hitch. If you like that, I think that also might be a good movie to bring into this mix, to talk about how things can be when, like I said, on that movie, Eva was sticking up for her friend and she was wrong. And I think maybe that's an example of what happens when a person just goes off of their emotions without it being balanced out with logic. Um, and then even her friend could see, even though she fell for guys really easily, I think her friend could see that, in the movie, Alex Hitchens was Will Smith's character. Even her friend could see that Alex was telling the truth. And I think it's what happens when you fall in love, or when you love someone, you kind of get, at times confused about things, or things can become muddy, the water can become muddied, and I think, the twin flame thing comes into play as well, because then, people start, thinking about they've been hurt in the past. And I think this is what happened with Eva's character. There are a lot of twists and turns, but pride gets in the way, ego. There are a lot of things that can get in the way, and it's not as clear as we think it is all the time with that, when it comes to love, with an experience like that, because we want to take a chance. And people will say things that are not true to get us to make moves. And it's important for us to go with our gut. And I think, even in addition to that, and I think it's a good compliment to that, for us to not be afraid to be a fool for love sometimes. Because sometimes, a lot of the time, we gamble and we win. think if we're honest, and we really are honest and forthcoming, and we walk in love with one another, I think that we can gain so much by taking risks in love. So maybe I'll come back and do another video, but there are a lot of reasons why I like Gabby and Rachel for the Bachelorette. I really think both of those young ladies were very well spoken, and they did a great job. They were very poised. They, I think, were a great example of what women can be, to support one another, to still, pursue love, to be open-hearted, to take risks, and then to be willing to try again if it all doesn't work out the first go round. So I'm excited to see what you all have to say as well. Please like, subscribe, share the information. I'll continue to bring you more. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you again for the subscribers. I want to do something special for you soon. And I look forward to talking with you again on the next video. Okay. Take care. Bye.